Chetan asks, hi sir, my girlfriend is 29 and she's a U.S. citizen and I'm 24, but I have an asylum case, so age difference. I don't know what you're talking about, but consult with a lawyer. If you're getting married, I mean, maybe you can solve it by getting married to a U.S. citizen if you enter lawfully. That might just be a thing to do, but you got to talk with the lawyer in private. Okay, Shaitan says, age difference would affect the interview. That's not important. If it's a real case, it's a real case. So a lot of people get hung up over this issue that when they say, oh, my age is different, either the husband's much older or the wife's much older, that doesn't really matter. What it is USCIS officers get trained. If they see like there's a list of 10 different stuff they look at. Are these people from different religions? Are these people from different languages? Or all these things that are stereotypically different from couples, they pay attention to that just like anyone else would judge. But if you have one or two of them, it's not a big deal. If you have a lot of them and your interview goes horribly and you have no documentation and you can't answer questions properly, then yeah, that's going to be bad. So you can have the age difference. There's really people who have age differences that are large. I think Russell Crowe, some guy from Australia, the guy who was Wolverine on X-Men in the movies. His wife is much older than him. What's a real relationship? They love each other. Some people say it's a fake relationship. I don't know. But they're married. They've been married. It is what it is. So the age is not something I would be worried about. It's really the totality of your case. Are you a real couple? I mean, if I knew you, would I think you're lying or would I think you're not lying? And that's what you really have to think about when you're doing these kind of cases. Really be prepared. Show how it's a real relationship. Don't worry about age. I've had a case where a woman was 50 years old marrying a 22-year-old guy. We went to the interview. Everything was fine. They were really in love. Love comes in all different packages, every different ways. Is that relationship going to work out? Probably not. It's too much a big age difference. The guy in 10 years is going to want to have kids. There's all sorts of issues that are going to happen. But it doesn't mean they didn't fall in love and really get married. It's just, all sorts. Look how many marriages end up in divorce. It's not about whether this relationship is going to continue or whether this relationship's, not going to end in divorce. It's about when you got married, did you enter a relationship because you're in love and you want to be married or not? Or did you do it for a green card? And so age is nothing but a number, as they say. But you'll be judged, and you should be prepared for that. And that's why have an attorney is good, an attorney that cares and pays attention. Some attorneys just talk to you on the phone, never see you again. But someone that sits with you and talks about your relationship to pull out these kind of questions, because there's times when some couples don't really get into details of their lives together. They even know each other, even though they're a real couple. And if you go to the interview and they ask these kind of questions, you don't have the answers to them, it's going to look bad, even though you're a real relationship. So really have to be candid about each other's personal lives, backgrounds, to know each other. So if some question pops up, you're not surprised. You don't go to an interview and the officer asks, well, how many brothers or sisters does your wife have? And you don't know the answer to that. Even if you're 100% real relationship, you're just an idiot who doesn't know how many brothers or sisters your wife has, that can get you denied. Even though it's an innocent mistake because you don't care enough about your wife to ask how many brothers or sisters you have. Sorry to hark that. But a typical person would know about the family of the other person. A typical person would know how much their wife makes or husband makes or their lease. So all these details about a relationship that a typical person should know, that's what you should know and be prepared for that. Try to document as much as possible. Sometimes you might have an officer who just won't approve it, but that's rare. I deal with these cases a lot because when people have age differences, usually they do hire an attorney because they're worried about that, and we talk about it. Now, there's one big case that came out that was a fraud case, and these people were an idiot. This one guy wanted to get a green card. He couldn't get it through his girlfriend who he had a kid with because she didn't have status, but her grandma did. So he went and married the grandma, and they all lived together. The grandma was living in the basement, and they filed for a green card case. And it's idiotic that this guy did this because they had a kid with the granddaughter. They came to the house, check it out. They saw pictures of the guy with the girlfriend just hugging each other with the kid. And then they said, well, where does grandma live? And they went and saw the basement was the grandma's room. So it was really obvious and stupid to do that level of fake. So the age difference was wide there, but that's because it was a dumb fake marriage. So you got to really just be conscious of that kind of stuff, and it'll be okay,